I bought what I think is the coolest American tuner car of the 2000s, a Saturn Ion Redline. This thing has a manual transmission, suicide doors, and a supercharger that sounds like this. We're gonna make this thing sound and perform even better with bigger camshafts and a smaller supercharger pulley. But first, we have to do something about its very broken transmission. After discovering that the clutch in this car was slipping really bad, that was the clutch. I took the transmission out to replace the clutch, and I discovered the intermediate shaft is totally stuck. I've tried everything to get this thing out, including a bottle jack that is now bent. I mean, that takes a lot of force. I do believe we'd have to cut the shaft and use even bigger hammers that may destroy the inner workings of the transmission, and I do think that is more trouble than it's worth. But I did get an email from a subscriber that says he has a good used limited slip transmission, so fingers crossed that that works, because I don't know about you guys, but I cannot wait to hear these cams and this little baby Hellcat screaming once again. So I've driven all the way to Indianapolis to pick up our new Saturn Ion Redline transmission, and some lady just rammed into my trailer while we were on the highway. She literally just turned right into me, so we got damage on the trailer. And her car's not bad, but she has a blown out tire and a bunch of damage on this wheel. Luckily, I am well equipped, and we're gonna swap this out for her spare. That way she can be on her way. I just told her I'll take care of the trailer. If she wants to take care of our bumper, we don't have to get anyone involved. Everybody's good with that, so here we are. Changing a Toyota Highlander, I think, tire on the side of the road. My trailer really messed this thing up. I found the donut, it was underneath, and like a full-size GM truck, but not a full-size spare at all. All right, that's that. These people can be on their way. All right, you're all set, man. No problem, anytime. Have a great day. All right, so that's done. We have the supercharged Escalade for this trip, which I like to keep clean. So we got the LSC shop wipes to clean up my dirty hands. These things are awesome. I leave them in the trunk of so many of my cars. Look at that. Look at that hand. It's perfect. Unlike my trailer, this is definitely not perfect. Let's just kind of at least bend the plate back. Oh. Yeah, it looks pretty good. At least we didn't blow out a tire. That's good. I was looking in my mirror and I just saw her just coming, like she didn't see it at all. There was no chance, and I'm yelling. I'm like, no! And then she, and that's a thing, guys, like, because trailers are so low, if you don't have a car on them, especially people in SUVs, like sometimes they can't see them and they just turn right into them. They're so long. So it's just an honest mistake, that's all. All right, well, we made it. We're in a parking lot in Indianapolis of Walmart, and I see an HHR with a trans out the back, and I'm like, that's gotta be you. So yeah. This is Max, he emailed me. Tell us, you have a really fast Redline, don't you? Yeah,
I've got a 640 horsepower Redline, everything done to it, everything ZZP offers.
Wow.
You know, I bought it like that. It was way cheaper to buy it than it was to build it. You know, you'd be 30, 50 grand into something ridiculous. So
the main question I have with cars like that is, how do you get traction?
You don't.
You don't. Is it, I mean, no. Have you tried, you know, slicks? Like, what do you even do in that?
Yeah, you know, on the track you can get with decent slicks. With slicks you can do. I got RPF 1s and a 17x9 with a 275 tire on it.
Okay.
So it doesn't break tires loose at 100 miles an hour like it used to. But
good.
Yeah, it's still in first and second, forget about it.
Does it have enough torque steer to just like steer you right into someone's aluminum trailer?
Luckily, it's so powerful that when it breaks loose, it's not torque steer.
Okay.
It just starts to follow map of the earth at that point.
Okay.
So if the road is sliding sideways, you're sliding sideways with it. So
Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you for meeting me here. Let's see what you got. There she is. So this is the factory LSD trans, right?
This is a factory LSD trans.
Do you know about how many miles are on this?
Everything I've got in inventory right now is under 120,000. I can't tell you exactly which car this came out of because I'm a little insane when it comes to them. I just picked up another one yesterday.
And you sell these parts? You park them out on eBay and stuff?
As a hobbyist, yeah. Cool. I've got we just started up a website, and
nice.
Basically all it does is just kicks you off to my eBay site for now.
Okay.
I've had 79 of them.
Jeez.
And you know, we buy them to keep them on the road. It's just kind of one of those things. Yeah, they're rare.
They're rare.
You've seen how hard it was to get parts. You were talking to people across the whole country.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. There was one other guy, he was 10.5 hours away, that had a trans for me. And we're on our way to pick up another car. It may or may not be released on the channel yet by this time, but this shaft, oh my gosh, it is stuck in my transmission.
They tend to like twist the splines a little bit, and it's just enough that you can't get them out.
All right.
So that's what you need. You need that shaft. Unfortunately, with yours being the 04, it doesn't have the same kind of setup.
So I need a whole new subframe. So we got that too.
Short of that, everything's there.
Perfect. All right, cool. Let's figure out how to load.
It's just easier this way. I've done this before.
All right, she's a seasoned professional. Whew, look at that. Front wheel drive transmissions, not bad. All right, we got our new subframe strapped onto the trailer. Trans is protected by my blanket. We got the intermediate shaft. We are good to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
nice
you.
to meet you guys. Thank you so much. We made it back to legit street quarters. The Escalade did great. We have the transmission here, but it's a little dirty. So let's get some AMSOIL degreaser on this thing, and then we'll blast it off with the pressure washer. And I just let it dry, and here she is. It looks minty fresh. Hopefully it works. Now, our first step is gonna be draining the engine oil because we're gonna swap out a rear main seal. All right, so oil coming out. With the oil drain, we can get a little violent with our rear main since we're replacing it. And these guys usually come out pretty easy. Just like that. Goodbye, old rear main. It wasn't leaking, but we're right here. My seal driver kit cup is not big enough, but it's something a piece of wood can't take care of. So I've gently placed this in by hand, make sure the seal is wrapped all the way around the crank. They usually give you a little plastic install tool for that, but it didn't come with this. But that's okay. We have the technology. Piece of wood. Give it some love taps just to set it in. And then we're gonna borrow our old seal here to set it in even more. So we put that down first. Piece of wood, little hammer. And just tap it in, make sure it's even all the way around. Every so often, run your finger around the seal to make sure it's even. And before you do the job, I like to eyeball the distance between the seal and the outside of the block so you know how deep it's supposed to go in. But this rear main seal is done. Next up, we have our new aluminum flywheel. This thing is super light. It's from ZZP. They sell a lot of parts for these cars. We're gonna install it like that. Now we're gonna be replacing the flywheel bolts, and they have factory Loctite on them, so we'll throw them all in by hand. With our flywheel bolts installed, it's time to tighten them up. So I'm just gonna grab one of my tools from my amazing wall-mounted power tool organizer rack. I got this thing off of TEMU along with a bunch of other cool shop tools. The TEMU app is totally free, and for new users who download it using my link down below or the QR code on screen, you're gonna get a $100 bundle special if you use the coupon code DVH5724, and you're gonna get 50% off the wall-mounted power tool organizer rack. This thing is awesome. It even comes with hooks on the side, and it fits all of your tools in one spot. I got so many cool tools from TEMU. I'll go through some of them really quick. This we're gonna use probably later in this video, and it extends your leverage on a wrench, which is neat. Ratcheting brake pad expander tool for calipers. Hooks to hang your caliper. This pops out exhaust hangers. This is neat when you pull off a brake line and need to plug it up. You can do it with this tool. Oh my gosh, there's so much more, guys. Like doing a brake flush. Now you have an extension wrench that goes right on the bleeder. I could go on and on. I got so much stuff from TEMU, but this is probably one of my favorites. It's the VEVOR electric trailer jack. So I got rid of my handle trailer jack, and now check this out. We turn it on, hit this button. It's even got a light on it. This thing's going up and down. It even comes with a nice base too, and it comes with a cover. This thing was only like $129. You can't beat that. Anyway, download the TEMU app. It's totally free. Don't forget the coupon code DVH5724. It's gonna get you that $100 bundle, and you're gonna get half off of that bad boy. Check it out. Now back to the Saturn. We'll zip these in with the gun now. And there is a pattern to this. The flywheel will only go on in one way, so these have to line up perfect. We have 39 foot-pounds now. We'll go in a star pattern, and you do have to hold the crank while you do this. These two last ones in the old star. Clutch cable's angry with us. Bam. All right, now we need 25 degrees. This digital torque wrench is awesome. There we go. All right, almost done with these. And after every one, I like to make a dot or two. That way you don't forget where you're at. Last one. All right, the dot there, we're good. All right, hang on, you know I can't resist. Smiley face. I'm really a bad artist. I totally jacked up the mouth on that one. He's gonna need plastic surgery. Before we install the clutch and the pressure plate, we just wanna brake clean. Try not to mess up your smiley face. You don't want any grease or dirt or anything on this mating surface. We'll do the same to our new pressure plate. Make sure that's nice and clean. And here's our 6-puck clutch, and it will say which side is for the flywheel. All right, so we have a problem. This is a clutch alignment tool. So while you're assembling your clutch and your pressure plate, this aligns this perfectly center in the crank. But as you can see, it's not doing that, and we need this spot on. So normally there's a pilot bearing or bushing at this end of the crank, but this engine just doesn't have one, and the tool that came with the clutch kit is not correct. So it's supposed to fit perfectly in here and hold it so that you know that it's straight, but this is flopping around. I do believe we can engineer a solution though by taking some measurements. So it's gonna be the inside diameter of the crank, so right about there, 20.55, and we'll do the depth as well, 32.17. And the final measurement being this end of the tool, we're gonna make a bushing for this to slide into, so 14.57, because we still wanna use this tool since it splines into our clutch. With our 3D printing software, we're gonna bring in a cylinder, like so. I retook all the measurements without holding a camera, so they were super precise. And we can see this outside measurement is actually almost spot on, but we want 20.5, 20.5. Okay, and then we want to move this, and this measurement, not super important. This is how deep it goes in. I'm just gonna go 30. So we want this cylinder to be solid, and then we'll bring in a hole. So this is gonna cut a hole in the top right here. And so this measurement is gonna be slightly larger than this, so it'll go right in. So 14.6. Let's move this guy up, and we'll place him right on top. Right about there. With this align, we'll put our hole in. It's the exact same size. So there we go. We're ready to print. I ended up going with Army Green. This thing is almost done. All right, all done. Took about 10 minutes. There we are. Our bushing is complete. So I made this a very precision fit. So we'll precisely just tap it all the way on. So we have our adapter piece and our clutch. And now this will fit very precision-like into the crank, and this is centered perfect. With our clutch centered, we can go ahead and install our pressure plate, and there are a few dowels to line this up. And so we'll go like that. And I added some Loctite to the bolts, so we can start throwing those in. All right, we'll go around and tighten these guys up. We're going 18 foot-pounds on the torque wrench. All right, with this torqued, we can pull out our tool. It should come out really nice and easy, like that. This engine has a little spacer between the transmissions, so we'll throw that on like that. All right, we're almost ready for a trans. Before we install our trans, we need some new seals. There we go. Just a little violence there. All right, so here is our new seal, and we're gonna use a ball joint cup here, and our hammer, of course. And we'll just hammer away. This seal's easy because it just bottoms out. You can kind of hear the difference, so that is done. All right, ready? Yep. Oh, lift with your legs and not your back. And I hired a guy, Liam, just to lift the transmissions. That's all he's here for. Just kidding. If you guys haven't met Liam on the second channel, here he is on the main channel. Hey guys. I put up a post a while back on needing some help in the shop, and here's my help in the shop. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So Liam helps me lift heavy stuff and, well, everything else we do in this shop. There's a lot. Up she goes. Going back home, buddy. Actually, this is a new home, but this is a factory limited slip transmission. It is the newer one, so I'll have to show you guys a few mods that we have to do. It's all about the mods. We have the transmission lined up now, so I can start getting these bolts in there. All right. Tightening away here, people. All right, we're looking good, guys. So some of the mods we have to do to make this new transmission work is a different intermediate shaft. So the 2004 only had the tone ring here, and the newer transmission picks up its speed signal from inside. The subframes are different. So that's our old one, and this is a new one I've already transferred over to the control arms and everything. So the trans is positioned slightly different. All right, so with the trans bolted in, now we can get the subframe back in, and this was removed simply to remove the transmission. You just physically can't get it out with this in the way. Go. All right, she started. Excellent. Since we have the newer transmission without the tone ring on the outside, I just have to make a little wiring modification to the connector, and we're all done. We want to replace this bearing on the intermediate shaft. Remove a couple tins. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there should be a clip. Yeah, right here. All right, we gotta get that out of there. Wow, look at how loose this thing is. That's pretty bad. So let's remove the clip. Now I can press the shaft out like so. A few love taps should get this bearing out. There we go. She's definitely a little grindy. The new bearing needs a little hammer to hold it in, and then our factory Saturn bearing installation tool designed in conjunction with NASA, and now the bearing feels much, much better. We just gotta get this thing back on the intermediate shaft. Now our clip, and it's all done and spinning a lot easier. Let's reinstall this shaft and hope it splines in. You don't understand how good it feels that that shaft just slid right into the transmission, because the other one is totally stuck, and I just had in the back of my mind, I'm like, this isn't gonna go back together, right? And it did. Shaft is in, everything looking pretty. This is all tight. All right, we can get this axle in now. This one is the easy of the two. It didn't get stuck. Get in there. There we are. This thing goes here, and we'll get our ball joint back in. All right. Looking pretty good. I reinstalled our passenger side axle. I put the washer on, and we have our 30 mil nuts. Tighten this guy down. All right, there we go. Axle, don't break with any light launches that we may do later. This whole chain situation, holding the engine up, That is coming off, so now we can get to bleeding out the clutch fluid. But before that, we have to reinstall the engine computer, and this makes for the most satisfying clicks. So this is the same reservoir for the brake fluid, but they're split internally. So we're gonna just add a bunch of .4. Kind of hard to see, but I have my wrench right there on the bleeder. And I'm gonna feed down a hose and connect that up. With the bleeder open, we're sucking it out, getting some fluid in here. Basically just like bleeding brakes. We're pretty much done with that. We'll see how it feels on the road. I did get in there and do it manually too, where we pumped it, cracked the line loose and all that. It's literally just like brakes, so we should be good. With our clutch fluid bled out, we have to put some trans fluid in this thing. So I just cracked loose the fill plug. It's time for our AMSOIL manual transmission gear lube 7590. Only the best for my Saturn. The squeeze pouches are the best. No tools needed, just squeeze it and you're good. It's kind of like toothpaste. All right, she's filled up. It's just like differentials, once it starts coming out of the fill, you're done. Cap it off and you've just changed your trans fluid. Congrats. This may be the last time these wheels go on because we have brand new ones from Fitment Industries that are getting the tires put on right now. I almost forgot. There's spacers with these wheels. I will soon have spare spacers because our other ones should fit like perfect flush fitment with no spacers. Wheels are on. We are ready to go for a ride. Except this thing is in the way. We gotta get this out of the way. I hate when that happens. You know, these yellow cars always getting in the way. We got Saturns to work on, people. Yeah, I still haven't figured out how to reset the cluster, but whatever. We'll park this guy next to the yellow Jeep and my Oldsmobile. That was my first yellow vehicle. This is my second. Clutch pedal is feeling good. There she is. Oh yeah, this thing's on pure E85 right now. Yeah, and it's dead. Okay, it's got a little cold start issue, but we got a new tune from ZZP to fix all that, and we'll be able to switch to 93 when we need to on road trips, but that's for later. All right, feeling good. Ooh, she's jumpy. Ooh, this clutch feels good. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. And then we got choppy cams coming. All right guys, we're supposed to break in the clutch, but I don't really care. I'm gonna go nuts with this thing right now. We're just gonna see how fast we can go in the Saturn, just top it out completely, and just see what happens. I don't care anymore. I just wanna know how fast will my Saturn go? I'm just kidding. We're going like 30 miles an hour. Look at the speedo. Oh, it's going crazy. So when we spliced in the new speedo sensor, we have to actually retune for it to read properly. So we haven't tuned it yet because we have that tune waiting for the CAMS. So I did not max it out. Although 140 in this car is, I mean, it would do 140 easily. The super aerodynamic light Saturn Ion. Anyway, I can't go too crazy just yet with this clutch situation because we got to break it in, but it feels fantastic. I think we're gonna be good. It's like a little mini kitty, a little Hellkitten. She's good, guys, she's good. I had to give it some throttle there. I just wanted to make sure it would shift in a second before it would shift in a second and then just rev to the moon. So we are good. I promise I'll be gentler on the clutch for some more break-in miles, but also I just love hearing this little 4-cylinder. So speaking of that, let's go back to the shop and make it sound different. I have no idea what's gonna happen here. It's a 4-cylinder with big cams. We're back at the shop, and something I forgot to comment on is that the trans feels great. I forgot, we stuck a used transmission in here and it is the factory LSD. So we will test that out later, especially after some more miles on the clutch, on whether the front tires both spin. That is the official LSD test. But transmission, used one, good. Clutch feels great. It's time for more power. Right there. The power's underneath there. Let's start some engine surgery. Bunch of 10s for this valve cover. Oh, fuel rail totally in the way. Let's move you. More 10s. This is crazy. The nut for this fuel line is a 24. It's pretty big. Oh my God. And it won't come off. That's insane. Not a good start to this. I just need this off to get to the 10. Oh, I got it. All right. Whew. Do not want to break that. That is insanity, Saturn. This is why you went under. It's because of this fuel line. Okay, there we go. Yeah, fuel's coming out great. I've given this thing a grand total of like 10 minutes to cool down before I start working on a super hot engine. So that fuel actually feels good. Oh, E85, I love it. Now we can get to this 10. Ah, get out of my way. Move 10, get out the way. Get out the way. 10, get out the way. You guys know the song? Gosh, I'm old. The song's old now, isn't it? I've removed all the 10s on the perimeter. Now we have some T30s if I get this in there for this little center cover. Probably should have taken this off first, but I'm excited. Ooh, look at these coils. Sweet. Man, this thing is all ZZP'd out. It even has ZZP coils. They look awesome. I love stuff like this. Look at how nice these coil connectors are. Just pry them up like that, and they slide right off. That's phenomenal. There's some cars, a lot of German cars, where the connectors are just a nightmare to get off. It's like, why? Why? Just that works. 4 more 10s for the coils. We'll get these bolts out, and now we can pop out our beautiful, beautiful coils. There you go. More 10s for the valve cover. See? They're right there. We should get these plugs out first, though. All right, before we go at it with power tools, I just like to loosen spark plugs up by hand. Just takes a few seconds on a 4-cylinder, very easy. Do your spark plugs if you have a 4-cylinder engine. Pretty much all of them are like this. Now we can do a little zip, zam, zoo. Just like that. Spark plugs are out. What do we got? Some like new NGKs. Wow, these are perfect. It's funny, it's been like a month since I made the last video on this car, and I myself don't even remember if I did the spark plugs. I don't believe I did these. No, these just look that good. They're like new. This thing is running good. More 10s. This thing is coming off. All right, coming off. Oh, I love when you break free a valve cover for the first time in a long time. It's a nice sound. Get out of here. Ooh, what's up, stock cams? Or are they stock? The previous owner didn't do all the modifications to this car, so this could already have ZZP cams. I probably should have checked before I ordered them. I don't know if they're stamped. We could take a look at the new ones, but right now I do know that this engine is in like perfect condition. Jeez, is that clean, guys? That is definitely what you want to see. I just opened up the box and they are stamped ZZP, so those do look like the factory cams, so that's good. I honestly wouldn't have known what to do if we had the cams already, because that's like maxed out. There's nothing more you can do to this car unless we want to build the engine, which, hang on. Well, let's hop in one of these cylinders really quick and just, okay. I just wanted to see if maybe we saw aftermarket pistons and this thing was already built, but it looks pretty factory to me. Wow, this engine is in amazing shape. Look at that. Cross hatching all over the cylinder. Here we're going into the cylinder next to it. Pistons up, looks good. Here is another one that's debris from taking the spark plug out that I didn't blow out, but other than that, that's good. Last one, looking phenomenal. These valves are open, so we can see a little bit of that, but totally dry, just perfect. All right, we're gonna go ahead and remove our serpentine belt here so we can get our balancer off. So we'll take it off here, put that to the side for now. We need to set this up. There's a mark behind the balancer. We need to set that so that we have top dead center on cylinder 1. So there is the little notch mark on the balancer, and someone already marked this with a yellow line. I gotta say, all the guides and the chain, everything looks perfect. There's a good chance it was already done like recently. I can show you this once the balancer's off, but there's a mark on the timing cover. Let's get this guy out of the way. The balancer slides right off. This is keywayed from the factory, so that's nice. So here's our timing mark, and you can't see that unless you use a mirror when this balancer is on, which is kind of ridiculous. I think we can do better. I cleaned this up a little and made a little scribe mark, and now we can see our yellow mark lines up with our scribe. So this way we can just verify timing a little easier. All right, there's a tensioner we need to remove for the front cover, so we're gonna get this coolant tank out of the way, stay. And we're gonna remove this engine mount as well. Our engine's coming down a little. And we have a block of wood underneath it so it stays up. That way we don't have to hook up that whole chain situation and block, our work area. A couple of nuts, and this guy is gone. Still in good shape. Cool. Next we're gonna remove this shock. It's leaking anyway. Get out of here, T50. We got this bolt here. All right. All right, supercharger pulley coming off. We have a smaller one of these to put on for more boost. Since we're going with more efficient camshafts, this will allow us to raise the boost a little bit. Actually, it'll probably just bring it back to where it was, just more efficient. That did not fall in the engine, don't worry. Did I get it? I think I got it. Aha. I gotta say, I use my pen light, for light purposes, but also for the magnet. I use it all the time. And we have a new one of these as well. Oh yeah, this bushing is messed up. This thing was pretty loose on there. Slovakia, that's where it was made. Cool. Anyone from Slovakia watching? Now this tensioner will come out, and I believe now we're free to remove this front cover. Before we remove the front cover, we should probably drain the oil once again. There we go, and I did fill it up with new oil after doing the rear main and going for that test drive. But same reason, if we drop the front cover, we're gonna lose a lot of oil, so that's why. Nice little oil flush. I'm going around getting the 10 mils out, and I use a ratcheting wrench for these top ones. These bottom ones we can hit with the gun. So much quicker. Give this a little pry. And if it doesn't come right away, just double check you got all your bolts. There's a sneaky 13 right here. They were all 10s, but this super long one, Huh. Here we go, she's coming out. Sweet. This thing is literally just leaking oil out on me. Oh, it's because this is the oil pump. Oh, cool. So the oil pump is built into the front timing cover. It's an SHW/STT. I don't know why I'm thinking SHO and STI for that, but I am. Everything inside of here is more of the same. It looks minty, minty fresh, just beautiful. Timing chain guides all look fantastic, but with cylinder at top dead center and all our markings lined up. Right now I'm working on removing the cam sensor. So it's 2 13s, and we can pop this guy out. We have to make sure later that we reinstall this perfectly because it does have a mark for timing. Something else we verified is that these marks here are at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, that's perfect. And now we can remove the timing chain tensioner, which is that bolt right there. Let's see how tight this thing is. Come on. Oh, she's tight. Oh my gosh, yeah. All right, never mind. Oh my gosh, I have a breaker bar on this thing. Oh, it's coming. All right, cool. Whew, thank you, breaker bar, for the assist. This thing's almost out. There we go, there she is. Okay, we got a spring and our final piece, multiple final pieces. Okay, now there's no more tension on our chain, so we can start removing guides. Start off with this top one. Oh, she wanted to leave us. And yeah, like no guide wear whatsoever. Down below, we're gonna take out the 10 mils that hold in the guides for this chain. All right, so that's coming out. And then we have another 10 for this guide as well. That one's really loose. We'll go back up top now. This is all loosey-goose. There's another 10 for the guide that hides in here. There's a plug that covers it up. The secret guide bolt that no one knows about but you and I. That's it. And the Saturn engineers. Where are you, Saturn engineers? Where? What are you doing right now? If you're watching. How upset were you when you got kind of canceled? Or did GM absorb you? Like, what happens to the engineers, guys? Where are the stories of the engineers? That's what I want to know. Gosh, this car keeps eating my stuff. He's gonna fall. Hey, guide fell. Sweet. This guide is just so nice. I hate to throw you out. You do me no good now. Next, we have the cam bolts. Ah, of course, this thing's gonna be in the way. Darn it. Ah, got it. Got it. Gotta hold the cam for that one. 24 wrench. This bolt's coming out. There we are. So we can remove our cam gears. These are identical, aren't they? The chain we're gonna have to remove from the bottom. See ya. Okay, now we can start working on our cam caps. Stuff getting in the way. This is the bracket to pull your engine out. I just loosen it up. We can get out of the way. Now we can get to this guy. 4 13s. Okay, I had to take a cover off the back of the intake cam here. A little pry bar action here. These things are on there like crazy. Come on, there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, the dowel pins are just very tight. It's precision. Looks good on that end. There are numbers and arrows. So 2, 3, 4, all facing forward so you know which way these go. All right, cap's coming off. So nice to have everything labeled so I don't have to worry about mixing and matching. Look at these stock cams. They look perfect. Okay, all the cam caps are easy except for these. There we go. Huh, dowels are in there. Great. Well, now we know which one's which. So cams are coming out. Come on, baby. There we go. Gotta pop it out. Perfect. And we're taking off the rocker arms right now. And we're gonna keep these lined up since there's a little bit of a wear pattern and we're not replacing the valves. So this one goes here. Now, before we get to installing our aftermarket higher lift camshafts, we need to install better valve springs and titanium retainers. And the retainers, this top section right here, and believe it or not, these being titanium and lighter weight, is gonna allow the engine to rev higher. So a little bit of weight in your valve train goes a very long way. These springs also have like 140,000 miles, and these are stronger springs that are needed when you go with a higher lift cam. So one of the ways that this camshaft is going to make us more horsepower are in the lobes. These are actually bigger, and we can actually measure that. So let's get our reading here on the factory lobe, 36.18, and our new cam is 36.79, quite a big difference. So that lobe is going to actually push the valve down further, allowing it to suck in more air and relieve more exhaust flow. So more air, more exhaust going out, more power. Now, in order to swap out these valve springs, we first need to air up the cylinder. So right now there is air going in the cylinders, all the valves are closed. And what we're doing there is we're keeping the valves up because we're about to push down on the retainer. It's gonna relieve two keepers and the valve could technically just drop right into the cylinder and then we'd have to take the head off. So we've aired up so the valves stay up. So I bought a universal tool. This is basically just a bar that will bolt in anywhere on a cylinder head. And it comes with this here. So we're gonna push down. You'll see the keepers start to fall out. And you definitely wanna use a magnet here and do not drop these little guys. And now when we go up, we can remove our spring with the retainer on top, this Very, very heavy retainer. It's made of steel. Now, a nice while you're in there is replacing the valve seal, which is right here. So we'll pull that up with some pliers, nice and easy. Here's our new valve seal. It's blue. And we're just gonna steal some oil here right out of the cylinder head. Put it in there. And we'll slide this guy right on like so. Nice and easy. Now we can install our new high performance spring, our titanium retainer. And we have our tool set up again. We'll push it down. Oh yeah, I can tell this is stiffer for sure with these new springs. To get these keepers back on, we are busting out the Mercedes-Benz sunroof grease. So we're gonna push this down, and I'm just gonna get a little bit of grease on the top of this valve, as much as I can get on there. All right, now very, very carefully, we're gonna slide this keeper in there. So the sunroof grease is gonna hold it actually to the tool, and then I'm gonna use a little tiny screwdriver and manipulate it in there. Get in there. All right, screwdriver with sunroof grease going in. We just need to get this right on the valve now. This is so hard to do, guys. Oh my gosh. Got one on. Okay, all right, cool. We got it. So sunroof grease and a little pick. Fun fact, before magnets were invented, the ancient Aztec Indians used grease to move retainers on the valves. I'm just kidding, don't watch me for history lessons. That was horrible, guys. That was really horrible, and mostly because the tool doesn't push it down perfectly center, so I did have to get a pry bar in there a little bit to move it. And yeah, it's a good thing we only have one of those to do, and not 15 more. I'll see you next week. We are now halfway done, and I've definitely gotten better. There's always a certain technique with every engine, and once you get it down, you can move much quicker. So let me show you what I've learned. So first things first, you need better lighting. That helps big time. And I'm going back to an old school tool. It says Alexander right here. This has a magnetic end. I've had this for like 20 years. So we'll go ahead, get both of these in one shot. Don't drop it. You put them inside the cap of the MB sunroof grease. It's key to have someone helping you, like multiple people. This is like a 14-person job. I'm just kidding, 2 people. Once the keepers are gone, you just pull this assembly off, throw it in there. Pliers, you guys already saw this part. Hang on, let me skip to the good stuff. So you got your seal, you got your valve spring retainer. So then with your little magnet, go like that. Scoop up just a wee bit of the MB sunroof grease, like so. A wee bit, not a wee bit, a wee bit.
Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H?
Then you just gotta go quick, commit, like that. Push it on. All right, Liam, go ahead. Rise up. Come on, come on. Bam. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do it. Old school magnet, new school little screwdriver, and Mercedes-Benz sunroof grease. We are all done. This took about 2 hours. I did drop one keeper, but I got lucky and found it like in the head. Also, put the other spark plugs in when you're doing this, just in case you drop a keeper, you don't want it going in the cylinder, and then get extra keepers. I bought like 20 extra ones, didn't need to use any. But anyway, we're moving on to camshafts. You can use engine oil for this, especially on something that you were gonna assemble right away, but I have some engine assembly lube here for the journals where the cam rides. So we're gonna use that, and it'll help with that first start. I went around and cleaned up some of the valve cover mating surface as well, so that is done, and we are ready for this. It's our cam for our LS Junior, which is what I've nicknamed the Saturn. So the engine in the Saturn's called an LSJ, which is so cool. It's the LS Junior. Next up, we have our rockers in order. We'll get some engine assembly lube going on here, and then we can reinstall our rocker like so. I've sprayed down our new cam with brake clean and some shop air. It is lubricated, and now we can go ahead and gently install this. It's gonna fit into a groove right there. I'm all about pre-lubricating stuff upon first start, and I love using my 100-year-old gas can. So we're just gonna get a little oil everywhere it counts. Now we can start getting the cam caps back on, and this one has the dowels in the cap. Get that straight, push it down by hand. The one with the dowels might need a little persuasion, like that. Perfect. And then remember, these are numbered with the arrow pointing to the front of the engine. So we can start these by hand as well. Now, before we start tightening up the bolts for the cam caps, I like to do just a quick little sanity check, make sure we are pretty close with timing. The cam sprocket will only go on one way, so it fits into our groove like that, and we can see our mark is still in the 2 o'clock position over here. And if you guys are working on your own little LS Junior, just know that these are identical, same part numbers and everything. So they both say intake and exhaust, but the way the backside is made means they only go on one way, so you can't mess it up. These are only 89 inch-pounds. We're just gonna draw them in on the lightest setting on the gun just to save time, but don't use your gun at all to torque these. And we'll go from the inside out, and so we'll hop over here and so forth and so on. So forth and so on, is that it? Yeah. With everything hand tight and just snug, this is very little, it's 89 inch-pounds. That's all it takes. And we're just going inside out as usual, kind of a big circle. These guys, and come around to these guys, And we can finish off with the outer caps. And this cam is torqued. You guys want to see something funny? I totally forgot the rocker arms. You need those. And this cap is a nightmare to get off, so I'm sneaking them in. The old rocker sneak in. Cam is fully installed and torqued, and let's go down below. Before we get the new chain and guides in, we're gonna replace this oil nozzle, which is gonna help increase oil flow at lower RPMs. Here is the new piece, and it's just 110 millimeter right here. And here is our new nozzle. Going back in, it looks exactly the same. Tighten that up. I guess it's possible someone already did that, but it comes with the kit, so why not? Now we can feed in our new timing chain. Get in there. Now we can go in with our first guide. So it goes about there. And I like to lubricate guides as well, so just a thin little layer. And this one we can sneak in. Now this guide we're gonna put in through the top. Get in there. There we go. We've got that guide bolt started, and through our little secret passage, we can tighten this one up. So what's nice is our new timing chain has some links that are marked, and we have a little dot here on the sprocket, so that is lined up. Then there's a gold link up here for the intake cam, so that's lined up. I'm just keeping pressure with my hand so it doesn't slip off of the crank. There's that, perfect. And this is a brand new cam bolt. These are torqued to yield, so we're going in with one of those. Now we have our cam sprocket line with the word exhaust, or EXH, line up with this other colored chain link, and like that. Now this is where you're gonna need to do a little finesse. It won't line up perfect. That's because when you torque the cam down, it's off by a little bit. It's nothing a 24 mil wrench can't take care of. So we need to go this way. There we go, until it slides in. Perfect. And then quick, get your bolt in. Lock it in, lock it in, get to the chopper. We're gonna use this wrench extension now. This is pretty neat. So you tighten it down and it extends your wrench. And that's because we need to torque these cam bolts to 63 foot-pounds and then 30 degrees. It's kind of a lot. All right, there's 63. Now we can do our 30-degree angle. There we go. Torqued. This thing is pretty awesome, I gotta say. It was pretty cheap too. What's nice is we have an updated tensioner. This one had the spring that you guys saw fly out. I don't even know where it is, but this is all one assembly. It's so nice, and this won't come out. So we're just gonna go ahead and thread this into the backside of the engine block. Get out of here, harness. This is a sad looking harness right here, isn't it, guys? Someone that really likes the Lakers picked the color for this one. Get out. All right, as we tighten this, it is pushing on the guide that we installed closest to the firewall, and that's what's gonna give us our proper tension on the chain. You guys saw how tight that other one was, so all that is really is just click that much from the old Alex torque arm wrench. Final piece to the timing puzzle is this upper guide. Just goes on like that. Get out of here, purple and gold. LeBron is gonna leave you soon anyway. Lakers fans, do you want LeBron still at this point? 40, 41 years old, or would you rather just keep the money? It's like $55 million this next year. It's crazy. You know how many Saturns he could buy? How many $5,000 Saturns could you buy for $55 million? Our timing all set. I've replaced an O-ring for the cam position sensor. It looked a little old, so we got a new one. And we actually have to time this sensor. See that little slot there? Oh, and something else is I removed these back cam caps and I used a little bit of anaerobic sealer. So I like to get those on to fully torque the cam and then just pop them back off. The final torque is 16 foot-pounds, but those are all sealed up now. I'm just cleaning. Unfortunately, this gasket is unobtainium. It's got a little nick in it. We're just gonna have to get a little sealer on there. Hope for the best. So what we have to do is make sure that this line matches up with this line when we slot it in, and so we don't want this to spin. So just like that. Don't spin on me, boy. Of course, everything has to be on the side that you don't want to mess up. Is it lined up? It's still lined up. Oh, I got it, I think. Pretty sure. So I'm like 68% positive that I got that, but it'll throw a cam code if it's off, and it won't be the actual timing. It'll run fine. It'll just throw a cam code. So we'll know if my 68% was accurate. But there it is. It is now time for our front cover / oil pump reinstallation. Brand new front cover gasket, looking pretty in blue. Clean this guy up a little bit. We have a new front seal, and we can go ahead and slide this sweet little thing in. Watch our gasket totally fall out of place. Love when that happens. Stay. Did I get it? I think I got it. There we go. Now I got it. Front cover is all tightened up. It is time for our harmonic balancer. And we'll spin it around until we hit the keyway. There we go. All right, that's tight. I installed a new belt tensioner shock since ours was leaking. And we're now gonna swap out our 2.9 for a 2.7. More boost. All right, we'll throw that on the old snout like that, line it up. I used a little bit of Loctite on here. So you can use like a strap wrench to hold the blower pulley, but you can actually hold it pretty good with your hand. And then these don't require a ton of torque, just hand tight is fine. Last one. All right, blower pulley is done. Quickest sneak peek of the rims ever. Unless it's in the thumbnail, I don't know what the thumbnail is yet, but we gotta finish up this engine, valve cover, bunch of hoses and stuff, and then we're almost there. We're gonna fire it up. Well, unfortunately, I had to swap back to the 2.9 pulley. You can see here, they already ground down the snout of the supercharger a little bit to fit this guy. With this, it's locked. So we'd have to take the supercharger off and grind quite a bit off. I don't think it's worth it. For maybe 1 PSI of boost, we can run a little bit more timing and call it a day, and it'll be safer in the end. Sorry, little buddy. I will put this in the trunk though, so whenever I sell this car, if the new owner wants to grind down the supercharger, he can. Belt is on. Next up, we have our valve cover. All new seals are installed. She's ready to cover the valves. Goodbye, CAMS. Oh, wait. Oh, purple and gold. No way, you're not getting pinched. Get out of here. Tighten up our 10s. So many. Sealed right up, buddy. Spark plugs going in. Coil time. With the coils installed, we should probably plug them in. Bam, all done. Tuck this in nice and neat. And we have a shiny beauty cover. Everything's back together under the hood. We have oil, we have coolant, we got everything. Except we need a tune, so we're gonna zip this in with HP tuners. So we'll hit right vehicle. 04 Saturn Ion, okay. And we'll hit right, and here we go. So this is still an E85 tune, although they sent me another one for 93 in case I wanna run 93, but we're gonna be on E85. This tune is also for the mods, and it'll fix the speedo as well since we put in the updated transmission. Oh, I hear beeping noises. I think it's done. Right complete, we're done. I first start with the new CAMS. All right, she's getting there, she's getting there. All right, she's running good so far. Starting to smooth out a little bit. We had lost all the fuel in the rail. That was actually a much better cold start than before, so it's an improvement. All right, she's smoothed out, running good. Listen to that chop, guys. Oh, and we got a tailpipe, by the way, too. We swapped out this muffler in the last video, so it sounds less ricey, and now it's got a chop. That's pretty cool. So we got to send some logs over to ZZP. They are tuning the car, and they'll fine tune it as much as we can and see how it runs. I just let it warm up for 10 minutes. We sent an idle log, and I took off the old wheels. Goodbye. And now it's time for these. So I ordered these up from Fitment Industries, and they have an amazing feature on their website where you can actually see certain cars with certain wheels. And there was another Saturn that had these on, and the fitment was spot on. So they make note of that on the site, which is great. That's why it's Fitment Industries. And I don't know who the Saturn guy is, but I copied your wheels, man. They look too good. And so it's time to bolt them up. Oh man, this blue color with these rims, no spacer, that is clean. Look at this, fitment's gonna be perfect. Here she is with the new wheels. Let's get this thing outside. Fires right up. Okay. We're gonna need some tune revisions here, people. That, or I need to learn how to drive stick. I don't know, one of the two. Fun fact, this Saturn has electric power steering. It's a 2004. That's gotta be one of the first cars. What's the first car with electric power steering? There we go, maiden voyage time. This thing has the coldest air conditioning also. I love this car. I put about 5 miles on it. She is looking good, running good, sounding good. I mean, what more do you want from your Saturn, right? So at this point, my job is to drive this car. I gotta break in the clutch, and also I wanna break in the valve springs. So that's important. You wanna give them a few heat cycles. So get the engine operating temperature, let it cool down all the way, do it again, just like 2 or 3 times, and then they're ready to go. So dyno is tomorrow. I'm gonna keep driving. I can't rip on it just yet, but I will tomorrow. It's the next morning. Saturn's running perfect. We have a nice alignment. Everything outside of the airbag is looking good in the dash. Full tank of V85. I've actually driven, I think, about 25 miles since filling, and it hasn't moved. So either the gauge is broken, or this thing is really fuel efficient. I don't know. She screams. Yes. Oh, this thing sounds so funny. It's like a baby kitten. That's what my kids were calling it last night. The baby kitten. Saturn's on the alignment rack. Steering wheel was off quite a bit, so I want to get this thing all lined up before we hit the dyno. Saturn's all aligned, looking pretty, and we're filling up with the good stuff. E85 at only $2.50 a gallon. I just got done calibrating the dyno with the Redline. I think we might get some pops out of the exhaust, just setting up the dyno at 4,000 RPM and then letting out. It was like pop, 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 pop. Anyway, this little guy's ready to scream. I'll be logging these runs and monitoring mostly knock retard. That'll tell us if it's pulling timing due to detonation, which is no good. I have no idea what this thing's gonna make. 205 crank is what they have, so we'll see. Front wheel drive, stick shift car on the dyno. This might be a first for me, I don't know. All right, let's see how she did. Hang on, fans off. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, nice, nice. All right, here we go. Max power, 254 wheel and 245 torque. That's great. And this is on insanely low boost. So some guys are running like 22 PSI, and we've actually reduced our boost with the more efficient cam. So it's only running like 12 PSI right now. That's it. So I do think you can hit like 300 wheel with these engines, with the supercharged engines, if you boost them up like crazy. Although it does get a little dicey with intake air temps because these are just heat pumps, man. Like these old superchargers, you go turbo and you're gaining a ton more power on these, and that's why eventually GM did. But there was no knock, the run looked clean, so I think we're gonna leave it at that. Honestly, we would need more boost to hit 300, but 255 wheel when they come with 200 crank, that's an awesome improvement. Let's go hit the road. Hang on, before it comes off the dyno, you just gotta hear the idle now that this thing is running good. I think it sounds awesome. You know, I gotta let you hear this thing out here in Mexico. Good. This little 4-cylinder is awesome. Oh my gosh. I have so many supercharged cars, and you can barely hear the supercharger like on my Mercedes and the Escalade. It's very quiet. I'm like, I would kill to have like a quarter of this whine on those cars. It really, this and my Hellcat were the best sounding supercharged cars, like from the supercharger itself, not maybe the whole engine. And then silence. My 1-2 wasn't the best there. This clutch is feeling perfect. Everything is great. Oh, this thing is just awesome, man. No leaks whatsoever. New LSD transmission. Well, new used. She's ready for hot import nights. American style. Let's see, does this thing have a limited slip? I don't know, but it feels pretty good. Front wheel drive, guys, you can do some pretty mean burnouts if you really want to. Like, we pulled the e-brake on that one, but we have these nice tires. I don't want to mess them up. Guys, this is like a $5,000 car that probably gets really good mileage, like just around town. It's a great daily driver. Like, if you want to get into the car hobby and you don't want to spend a lot of money and you want something you could daily drive, I mean, it's front wheel drive, it'll do decent in the snow. This is it. This is it. And there's $5,000. That's like rusted out beater prices for any normal car. Max was recording. Was it LSD?
LSD.
LSD?
Lakeshore Drive.
Lakeshore Drive. All right, both of them were spinning. That's awesome. You guys probably knew that before I did. And there you have it, my very blue Saturn Ion Redline, an affordable yet super fun car that's easy to mod and fairly reliable. We haven't had any issues with this thing, and from what I read online, they are super stout. So if you guys are in the market for something cool and cheap, I highly recommend the Ion or its brother, the Cobalt SS. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a big thumbs up. Share this video with all your friends and family. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It's a free little button down there, and it really helps me out. But most importantly, have a fantastic day, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next video. Hang on, before the bloopers, if you guys want a chance to win my now supercharged Chevy Silverado Z71, just buy anything at LegitStreetCars.com. I'll drop a link down below, and every week we switch up what product gets double points, and this week it is the Ultra Plush Microfiber Towels. These are sold in 2-packs, 4-packs, 6-packs, and more, and the more you buy, the more you save. Double entries on all of them. A lot of this stuff is selling out, so if you guys want to get on the Silverado giveaway, now is the time. Now to some funny bloopers of me. All right, we made it. We made it back with the transmission, and we made it back. My seal driver kit does not have a, my seal driver is not big enough. Every so often, just run your finger around, make sure this is perfectly easy. Perfectly even. This is set in. So basically, while you're assembling the clutch and your pressure plate, we want this to be perfect, so bam. Okay, and it's gone. All right. So I put up a post a while back on needing some help in the hand. I did get in there and give it a few pumps. I did get in there and do it manually too. I don't really know what I'm saying here, Max. I'm just backing up a car. It is what it is. That's always a good thing to say. Just throw a few all rights in there. All right, let's commence some engine. Commence? Yeah. These valves are open. These valves are open so we can get a little. These valves are open so we can see a little. All right. There's 4. These are, what are these called? Are gonna make an. Is gonna translate to a much easier. Let's see. Is gonna allow this engine to. Is gonna allow this engine to spin more freely? No. It's gonna allow this engine to rev higher. Okay. So now we've lined up. Of course. Well, guys, unfortunately, I had to swap back to the 2.9 liter. But this is gonna fix the speedo. What's it do to my office field?